Oi. Okay then. Who's going to be first to chat this evening? Let's find out. Yeah. Smooth. Yo, banana bangers, what's up? Can you hear me? Let me know if the audio is working or not. Yo, Eddie, what's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me okay? Can you hear me? Last time the audio was bad, so let me know. What's up, Jordan the Magpie? You say, oi, oi, bro, how are you? Doing all right, thank you, Jordan. Good to see you in the chat. How are you doing? All right, thank you for the pinned comment. Let me just pin that quick and shout to everyone tuning in right now. Robin, the real one, is in the chat, says, hey, Edward, life hasn't been well. I'm hanging on, lol, but my boyfriend said he needed it and chose some other person, but I'll be okay. Oh, sorry to hear that, Robin. That sucks. That sucks. But, you know, if he's not treating you nicely, then we'll deserve someone who's going to treat us nicely. So I'm sending you hugs. Hell yeah, Jordan the Magpie says, I'm doing good. I'm 18 subs away from 300 subs. Congratulations, Jordan. 300 subs coming in hot. Good work. Keep it up. Anna says, hey, Edward, what's up to you, Anna? Nice to see you once again. And Arthur says, hope everyone is doing okay. Shout out to you, Arthur. Love that. Big up to yourself. And with Parvez, who says, yo, Edward, what's up? Good to see you, Parvez. How are you doing? Nice to see you back in the chat. So I hope everyone is doing well. It is currently 8:05 here in the UK, and I've had a nice weekend. End of the weekend, but that's all right. We're going to end the weekend in style. Anna says, I'm doing okay. How are you doing? I'm doing all right as well, thank you, Anna. I've had quite a chill day today. Did some exercise, went out for a walk. It's all been good. Just had some tea as well, so I'm very full of lots of food. What's up, Kaylin? Who else have we got? Banana Banger says, I'm sorry I missed your last stream, Edward. I didn't mean to. That's all right, Banana Bangers. Never any pressure to attend. Always just when you can. Anna says, good to hear. What did you have to eat? I had... right, so I have a lot of things, guys, so bear with me. So I had some sweet potatoes, which I baked in the oven. I also had some tofu, like a full pack of tofu, some mushrooms, kidney beans, some soy mince, and some kimchi, and some hummus as well, just to bring everything together. And it was good. It was really good, honestly. It was like probably about 60 grams of protein. So it was a good meal. It was a good meal. I'm really trying to kind of up my protein at the moment. I'm working out quite a lot, so I'm trying to hit like roughly 150 grams of protein. Roughly. Parvez says, is it only me or the whole tracing bug in hearing voice? Check once, please. Yeah, let me know, chat. What's the audio like? Because you know I always have problems with audio and internet connection and generally. So yeah, let me know. Arthur says, what does tofu taste like? Good question, Arthur. Great question. It's quite a bland flavour, honestly. It's one of those things where it's really good for adding flavour too. It's quite like a bland sort of slightly creamy, I guess you could say, the flavour wise. But it's a pretty plain flavour, honestly. But I really like it, and it's really good to add like different seasonings to, different flavourings, different sauces. Very high protein, healthy for you. So would recommend trying. And if you ever try it for the first time and you eat it at a restaurant, they'll probably do it really. If you were to cook it yourself at home, as I say, unless you kind of like cook it well, or it's not hard to cook, but I'm just saying unless you have cooked it, you know, in an all right way and maybe added some flavour into it, you might be like, oh, this is bland. But if you went to like a Chinese restaurant and had tofu, you'd be like, oof, this is really good. Thank you, Eddie, who says audio's fine. Good. Banana Bang says, I can't hear nothing. Well, thank you for confirming. It could be a you problem, Banana Bangers. Anna approves of my evening meal. Thank you, Anna. Appreciate that. Eddie says anyone experiencing audio issues, restart YouTube. So yeah, if you're out there and you're having problems hearing me, jump out the stream, jump back into it, and hopefully you'll hear better. Or hopefully, should I say, it'll be better for you. That sounded really sassy, like hopefully you'll hear better. Shalini says it's kind of lagging sometimes. Sorry to hear that, Shalini. That could be my Wi-Fi. Jordan says, how's your day been, Edward? It's been good, thank you, Jordan. It's been chill. I had a nice sleep in. I had a nice lie-in. I actually didn't get up till 10 o'clock. I woke up at about 9, just before 9. I went to bed a bit later than average because it was the football last night. England were playing in the World Cup against Panama. Not the most exciting of games, but got the victory, so that's the main thing. And yeah, it finished at about like 20. Don't know, it finished at maybe 20 to 12. So I went to bed a bit late last night. So I had a nice sleep in this morning, and I was actually working yesterday morning, so I wasn't up like super early, up earlier than I would have liked to been yesterday morning. So this morning I had like a nice sleep in till like 9:30, and actually only finally got out of bed at like 10. So it was a lazy start. Like, I'm not gonna lie though, guys, that for me is like fine. But like back in the day when I was younger, I've told you I used to stay in bed till like the afternoon, which is not good, and I don't recommend it. But especially when you're growing as like when you're a teenager. When I was a teenager, like, or when you're not even a teenager anymore, just like young, early 20s, late teens, I feel like your body needs a lot of sleep, going still potentially. So yeah, I used to go to bed very late as well, so that didn't help. But yeah, long story short, Jordan, my day's been good. And how about yourself, my friend? How's your day been? Zara Lifestyle says, hey, Edward. What's up, Zara? Good to see you back in the chat. And WB is now WD. Sorry to hear your channel got deleted, with a boy. But good to see you back in the chat, and I hope you're doing well. Apart from the channel deletion, that's unfortunate. Eddie says, Edward, I'm going to go back to watching and Steak stream as they are Canada versus someone. Okay, no worries. For a second I was like, who's Steak? And I remembered Steak's that YouTuber, isn't he? Like, literally called Steak. Banana Banger says, these streams are my favourite part of the day. Where can I buy merch? Thanks for the question, Banana Bangers. There is currently no merch, but if I hit 1,000 subscribers, then that might be a fun time to do a little bit. Maybe, like if people want it. I don't want to be like one of these channels that milks people. And if I do merch, I would like it to be something that's kind of decent. I'd like it to be something that people will actually keep or use or wear because it's good, not just because I've been like, buy my stuff. Well, thank you for the question, Banana Bangers, and merch maybe will come at some point. And if you see any EdwardCares merch out there, you know it's counterfeit. She says, I like how you ignored my question. I don't think I did, Shalini. The only thing you've said in the stream so far was kind of lagging sometimes. And then you left a message in the chat which you retracted. And then you said, I like how you ignored my question. So I don't think there was a question to ignore, Shalini. But thank you for the passive-aggressive attitude in the chat. Much appreciated. Shalini says, what's your life purpose, Ed? Good question. I don't think I have a singular life purpose, but trying to be a decent person, trying to grow as a person, trying to enjoy life, trying to make other people's lives better in a way that I enjoy. Those are some of the things that I would like to work towards. And how about you, Shalini? If you want to share your life's purpose with us, do let us know. Eddie's back. That was a quick... I thought we'd lost you. WB says, I changed my profile picture and stuff now. Nice. W back. Return of the WB. I wonder why your channel got deleted as well, WB. What's the story? In Netherlands, a Dutch cricketer called Scott Edwards. Interesting. I wonder if he's from the Netherlands or whether he plays in the Netherlands. because Scott Edwards is quite a. I think Edwards is actually a Welsh name, if I'm not mistaken. I think it is. It is a Welsh name. So I'll have to look him up. Scott Edwards. Well, anyway, guys, like I was saying, I hope you've had a nice weekend. It is just after 8 o'clock here in England, and the weather has got a little bit less. Excuse me. The weather is a little bit less horrifically hot at the moment, so that's kind of nice. So I'm not one who can really deal with the heat that well. I think it's been hot, but it's cooled down a bit, which is nice. Yeah. WB struggling with the powers that be at YouTube. Shalini says, "Do you not watch cricket? England invented this sport, by the way." Yep, I knew that. I knew that England invented cricket. But watch cricket on a regular basis. No, I just watch occasion if it was on TV. But I'm not. I like cricket. It's a good game, but I don't follow cricket as a game. Jimmy Jazz says, "Please help the channel with a little like, please, gang." Jimmy Jazz. Words fail me once again. The vibes are impeccable from you, Jimmy Jazz. Thanks so much for the support. And Banana Bangers talking about merch as you should make shirts with EdwardCares on it, like food review. I would wear it, and hoodie. Oh hell yeah! Thanks, Banana Bangers. Appreciate that. That's really cool. Yeah, at some point we'll do something like that. Why not? Yeah, that'd be good. I'm just trying to think with clothing. The only thing is with merch, like physical merch, I think it would have to be just like you start with PPK at first, because otherwise, I've had to like ship a shirt to America. It could get super expensive for both me and the person potentially buying the shirt. But worry not. We'll think of something. And definitely start, I reckon, with the UK based shipping. Shalini talking about cricket says it's crazy how the sport how the sport goes for 5 days straight, and there's a 60% chance you won't get any result. Yeah, cricket can be a long game, can't it? It can be a prolonged game. Great on a summer's day. It is nice to watch cricket or participate, especially during like good weather. It's a fun game. Shalini says, just out of curiosity, are you really this sweet IRL too? I think so. I try to be chill IRL. Don't always get it right, and I do try and positive vibes as much as possible. For dreams. So thank you for the question, Shalini. Don't get me wrong, I'm definitely not like a Mr. Perfect, but the whole point of these streams, as the regulars know, is to be like a chill, positive space where people can come together from all over the world, literally all corners of the globe. People tune in from. Not because I'm some sort of big shot. That's just we have like an international community. So yeah, I just want the streams to be like a chill place where people can come together, hang out, vibe. And yeah, that's focus the streams, honestly. Flaws 555 says, "Did it hurt?" Flaw says it's night here in India. Interesting. Yeah. Edith. Hello to you, Flaws. Floss is watching from India now. I believe it's probably about 1:30 or something in the morning in India. 12:30, 1:30. Well, 12:20. WB, we're gonna make you a mod. Where is the WB? WB moderation. Ooh. No problem. B, back in the mod squad. Sorry for all the yawning, guys. I actually can't help it. I had a good night's sleep. I think I need another good night's sleep tonight, honestly. More sleep required. I actually need to get even more sleep. I've been sleeping. I need to get more sleep still. I think because I've been working out a good amount, I think I'm trying to want to put on a bit of muscle. In order to do that, I need to get my sleep in check. Because you can eat well, train well, drink lots of water, eat enough protein. If you're not getting enough sleep, then your body's not going to recover. And I'm not a fitness expert or a bodybuilder, but I think the more I have been learning, the more I realise that I need to make sure I'm getting enough sleep. Ross is back in the chat. Edward says, "Hi Edward, sorry I haven't been on recently. I've been very busy, but I'll try to be on more, just not tonight." No worries, Amber. And thanks for checking in. Nice to see you again, and hope you've had a nice weekend. John W says, "Edward, really appreciate your channel." John W, I really appreciate you if you're still watching. Thank you so much for the encouragement, for the nice feedback, and I'm glad you do. That means a lot to me, honestly. So big up to you, John W. Appreciate that, man. Absolutely right, Eddie. In terms of the mod situation, it's just as and when. People love being mods, and I love making people mods. But sometimes we just want to make sure we don't have too many people in the mod squad. But we do rotate the mods, so worry not. Keep your names, and we'll rotate you in. Shout out as well to Eddie, who's doing a job on a sort of, I don't want to say main mod because it makes it sound like I've got a favourite mod, but on his modding duties, Eddie does a great job. So shout out to you as well, Eddie. Yeah, WB says one person went crazy with mod. Oh, who remembers that stream? I reckon there's probably at least a couple of people watching this that remember that. That was Esan went crazy. Crazy. He was just modding. Not modding, he was just he was going crazy. He was crazy, I tell you. Banana Bang says what happened. Basically, just Esan was just timing people out like left, right, and centre, going absolutely on the timeouts, and for kind of no reason that I could see, and it just got really crazy and hectic. Interesting. So a tech fact from Eddie says, "Edward, fun internet setting fact: if you change your DNS to 1111, you are routing your internet through Cloudflare, the fastest DNS provider ever." Did not know that. Did not know that. Eddie says, "Wasn't it TTT?" Yeah, TTT also went rogue. Now that I think about it, that was more recently. In fact, ASAM was about 6 weeks ago, something like that. ASAM went crazy. And Ryan Sanders, the very tall young man, is back in the chat. What's up to you, Ryan? How are you doing? How's the fitness journey been going? Oh yeah, Ryan's no longer in the chat. Rest in peace, Ryan. Oh, he's back. So Ryan says, "I'm so tired. We had a fundraiser penalty shootout, and I'm the goalkeeper. I saved 80 out of 170 penalties. That's good. Almost half. That's a lot of penalties to have to save." Oh, and Eddie Backrooms movie. What did you think, Eddie? My friend is watching the Backrooms movie at the moment. WB has got a new squishy dumpling from Yorkshire Trading and got the rarest colour rainbow. Nice. Good work, WB. Sounds like a successful squishy dumpling collection. Oh, and Ryan was had his goalkeeper skills tested by fully grown men. Well done, Ryan. That must have been. I'm not surprised you're tired. That jumping. That's a lot of jumping. In fact, that's basically like 160 or was 170 goals you got taken. That's a lot of jumping. Put it that way. It's a lot of jumping. John W says, "What happened to your forehead, Edward?" I got assaulted when I was 19. John W. Got my head smashed open. Banana Banning goes, "Bro, Edward, do you have advice? I feel overwhelmed because person texts me a lot, but I don't know if I feel the same." Oh, okay. So you've got someone who's into you, but you're not sure if you're in. I would say if it's someone who's messaging you a lot, don't be afraid to just like take your time replying, because how long you take to reply to someone, percentage in its own way. If that makes sense. Eddie says, talking about the film, says the movie itself is good, but I felt it was too short or something. Okay, interesting. I will see what my friend thinks of that one as well. And yeah, Banana Bag says, "Bro, Edward, do you have advice? I feel unwell because person texts me a lot, but I don't know if I feel the same." Yeah, so my advice would be, don't be afraid to take your time and just keep it casual. Keep it casual. If someone's like into you and you're not into them, just take it casual and they'll get the message. Honestly, that's how it'll work. Like, not replying is a reply in itself, if that makes sense. So yeah, remember that you're in control of what happens in your life in that respect. So yeah, don't worry about it. It'll sort itself out. And Eddie is correct. Many people, the World Cup is on, in fact, and many people will be watching it. I actually don't know who's playing tonight. That shows how out of the loop I am. But if after this stream, I'll try and jump on and see if I can find some either highlights or some live games on. But yeah, we can excuse the millions of people that would be here on this stream otherwise for not being here. And Eddie says South Africa versus Canada. Okay. South Africa versus Canada. Don't know who would win that one actually. I could see either one of those teams winning that one. Red card from Eddie. Yeah, so I don't know if anyone saw the England game last night. Like I said, not the most of inspiring games, but crucially, got the win. Some decent signs, some promising signs in there. I was thinking England, typically, it's just always been so lackluster, just never that touch of magic, never that spark. I feel that honestly now, the England team looks so much better than they did 10 years ago. Like, they really do, in my opinion anyway. There are some brilliant players, some brilliant English players, but England as a team have just never been able to really do that well. But more recently, the standard is there. The standard is there. Is it world class standard? We shall see. But it's definitely better than it has been in other years. And he says, honestly, if more people don't join by like 9, you might as well end it, to be honest, not to be rude. No, honestly, fair point. Honest, that was my plan anyway, because with me having work tomorrow and wanting to get more sleep, I do need a little bit of time after the stream. So we will aim for 9 o'clock. Neil Hawley says, love from Leicester, mate. Neil, sending you love back from the north of England, not too far from Manchester. But big respect up, and he said, shout out and big respect. It turned into big respect up to you. But yeah, Neil, shout out to you, my man. And nice to see you in the chat, and thanks for popping up with something positive. And nice to know you from Leicester as well, because we have people that tune in from all over the world. And I love hearing where the people are in. We've had viewers from like Nepal, many from India, Pakistan, South Africa, America, Canada, like European countries. So we get people that tune in from literally all over. So it's always cool to hear where people are watching from. And I'm interested because sometimes someone will be like, oh, I'm in New Delhi and it's like 3,000 miles away. And then sometimes someone will be like, I'm in Wigan. I'm like, oh, you're like half an hour from me or something. So it's pretty cool. I like that. Banana Bangers says, Edward, do you want me to advertise the channel for more members? I can make ads and share. That's very kind, Bangers. That's very kind of you. I guess the only thing maybe you could do to help is just have friends or your family that you think would enjoy the streams and would find them fun and chill. Then please do share them with your friends and family. Really, the responsibility is on me to make more interesting content and to do more videos and to do more live streams. And I've told you before, but I'll just remind you again. So this Friday is when I'm definitely handing my notice in at work. So I will have 4 more weeks, either 1 month or 4 weeks left at work, and then after that I will be a free man until I go travelling. So I'll have more time for making videos and stuff like that. So if you're tuning in for the first time, shout out to you. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers, and when I hit that mark, I'll be doing some fun stuff. Make sure you hit subscribe to join the vibe. And with that being said, let me get back to the chat. And peace be with you as well, Vinay. Nice to see you back in the chat, my friend. How are you doing? Kushal, yeah, hi man. Hello to you, Kushal. Nice to see you in the chat. How are you doing? Now then, Mr. Fox. He says, yes, I am back. Shout out to you, Foxy. Good to see you, man. And like I was just saying a minute ago, with people that watch from all over the world, but we also have people that watch from different parts of England as well. And we've got Foxy over in the northeast of England, Mr. Fox. You could call him the elder fox of the chat. Not that he's old, but he's older than some people. That's really bad because you're not even that old. You're only a few years older than me, Foxy. But what I'm trying to say to you is Foxy is big bro around here. So if you see Foxy85 in the channel, in the chat, look out for him. He is big bro. Dalong Kim says something I can't speak English. Oh, okay, so we've got someone translating English. Banana Banger says, are you going to do YouTube only for a job? Well, that all depends if the people of the world realise what the inevitable facts are, which is that I'm a superstar, global superstar. Fair enough, with only a very small channel. Who knows what the future will hold? And to be honest with you, jokes aside, I would love to do YouTube as a full-time job. That'd be a dream, honestly. That would be a real dream. But I kind of don't want to think about that just yet, because in order to make that more realistic, I need to work beforehand. You know, it's great to have a vision and picture something down the line, but I think you also need to enjoy the journey, and that's my problem at the moment a little bit. Instead of thinking, oh, to 1,000 subscribers, I'm going to do this. Instead, I should be thinking, right, let's put some videos, let's have some fun, and let's see where we go. So yeah, Banana Bangers, if I could become a full-time YouTuber, that would be super cool. I'm not betting on it. I'm not saying to myself, I've got to be a YouTuber, otherwise I'm a failure. Like, I would like it to be a thing, but I've got to have a backup plan, is what I'm saying. Foxy says, you nearly got your 40 degrees heat wave. Whew, Fox, it's been too hot since we last spoke, Mr. Fox. Now, today it's been alright where I am anyway, but the few days before that, and probably like Thursday in particular, I did not sleep well. I didn't sleep, I felt like I looked rough. I've been looking rough at the moment because, as you guys know, I like to exercise regularly. I like to eat healthily as much as I can. Drink lots of water, but the heat's been keeping me up at night. And last night it's been fine. The night before that it was fine. But yeah, Wednesday, Thursday, the heat much, honestly, too much. So I hope you out there are keeping cool as well. What's up to you, Sturdy? Good to see you. And he says, I missed you in the mod so much. Oh, we missed you too, Vinay. Always nice to have you back with us. And shout out the gang as well. WB says, a good feeling for YouTube streamers. People are spending their precious time hanging out with you. Very true, WB, and thank you for the reminder. But it is absolutely true. People could be anywhere right now, but myself and 10 other people are right now locked in together, vibing away. So if you are one of those 10 people, I'm sending you a special shout out. Because like WB says, you could be anywhere. You could be doing anything, whatever you want, but instead you're part of the crew chilling with me. So big up to you all. Foxy is a burn fox. After the hot weather we've been having over here in the UK, I don't know how get where you were, Foxy. I think where I am, it got to the low 30s. It felt humid as well. And that makes things feel even hotter, honestly. And I know some parts of the country they've had like nearly 39, 38 maybe down south, which is too much. Vinay says, I had recently been down with fever and cold, so I couldn't come here. Oh, sorry to hear that, Vinay. Hope you're feeling much better now. 34 in the northeast with Mr. Fox. 34, man, that is... It just did not used to be a thing. It just did not. Like, when I was a kid, a hot summer would be 27 degrees, and that'd be hot. I'm not exaggerating. That would be hot. That would have been a hot summer's day. 28 would have been roasting. Like, really hot. Not really, really, really hot, but that would be a really hot day. 28 degrees would have been a really hot day 20 years ago for an English summer. And like 23, 24 would have been like a nice summer's day. Fox says vitamin D. Yeah, true. Don't get me wrong, vitamin D is super important, and through the sun, great way to get it. But there's vitamin D, and there's 30 mid-30s heat waves. And thank you, Vinay, for the roses. Roses for the roses. Appreciate that, Vinay. Appreciate that. And I'm sending you a virtual rose back. And as always, I hope you guys have had a good and a good week. It's obviously the end of the week. Well, end of the weekend. There's about to be the start of a new week. So yeah, Monday's rolling around tomorrow. But hopefully you have had a nice weekend. Mine's been pretty chill, honestly. I had to work yesterday, which wasn't very chill. It was alright, but it was just, I hate working. I don't get paid double time. So when I do an extra like Saturday morning once every month, I don't get paid double time for that, or time and a half. Like I just get paid regularly. Well, actually, what you get is time in lieu. So instead of getting paid for that time, you get it as like hours. So you can build them up and then, take them as holiday days. But not my favourite, put it that way. Foxy says, I remember winters when I was 8 years old where the snowdrifts were massive, no winters anymore. Yeah, Foxy, man. Honestly, like, I kid you not, like, in some of my depressed periods, one of the things that has got me down and kept me depressed has been climate change, because it was great. And I'm not just saying it because, yes, England has been proper bleak, and not bleak, but grey, especially in the north of England, grey a lot of the time. Where I'm in the northwest, rains a lot of the time. But honestly, it was a good climate because, like Foxy says, every winter, not every single Christmas day, but almost every single Christmas day, bang on, there would be snow. And that created such a nice atmosphere. Like sledging on Christmas Day, as Foxy says, like deep snow, stuff like that was great. And then the thing is with England, because there was so little sun, because the sun was so rare to come around, as I say, when it got 21, 22 degrees, you'd be like, oh, what a beautiful day, fabulous day. And now you're just getting like burnt by like 30 degrees in March and stuff. So not to be negative, but that is one of the things that kind of like stresses me out a little bit, and has got me down in the past, like the nature of climate change, because I'm really into nature, and I really love like the seasons, and spring when those new plants come through, and then summer when everything's fully blooming. But even autumn and winter have their own kind of like special atmosphere to them. They've got their own like, there's all the different smells and the sights and the sounds. And unfortunately, with climate change, it kind of throws everything off. So what can you do? What can you do? And that's one of the reasons, by the way, why I'm passionate about veganism and a plant-based diet. I genuinely do care about climate change. One of the easiest things you can do that has a big impact is stop consuming animal products. Now, this stream is not a lecture on why you should do that, but I'm just making the point that that's another one of the reasons why I'm really passionate about a plant-based lifestyle. Vinay apparently was into whale noises before this stream and then saw the notification and headed right over. And Foxy talking about my work situation of how I have to sometimes do a Saturday morning. Says, you're a slave to the man, Edward. He's asked them for a pay rise, just see what happens. You are correct, Foxy. I am a slave to the man. The man has owned me all of my adult life, unfortunately. And that would be the dream. That would be like a dream. I think most people's dream is to not be a slave to the man, to be financially free. And it's funny because when people talk about financial freedom, like I've said it before, like I genuinely never think about possessions. I never think about watches or yachts or cars or, designer jewelry or designer clothes. I never think about that when I think about financial freedom. For me, I just think about not having to go to a particular place to do a type of work for at least 5 days of the week that you don't want to do. But that's what financial freedom is to me. Like it would be to never have to go to work again. And have enough money for the future in a way that like you'd still do stuff. It's not like I'd want to stay in bed all day every day. But yeah, just being able to work for yourself would be not even to work for yourself, but to not have to worry about money in that respect it'd be crazy, honestly. That is one of my dreams. I think it's one of most people's dreams, if we're honest. Like, who doesn't have that dream? Really, only people who are already in that position. So Banana Banger says, Edward, the person who was messaging me, will meet her in the city. Should I go or no? I just know them online. I'm very distressed. I would be very careful, Banana Bangers. If they're someone you've only met through online, wanting to meet up with you in person, I'd be very careful indeed. So I would probably say no, unless you know who they are. And I don't think you're an adult as well. So in this stream, by the way, I always say to YouTube when I start the streams, no, this stream is not for kids, not for children. So in theory, everybody that's here right now should be over 18. But on the off chance that some people who aren't 18, always be especially careful when you're talking to people online, and if someone's asking to meet you from online. And if you're 18, I wouldn't recommend meeting up with anybody that you meet on the internet. So Foxy talks about work, says, push your luck a bit, live on the edge, crack a few more jokes at work. You should super work colleagues' items to their desk when they go on lunch, go wild. Well, fortunately, Mr. Fox, I am handing my notice in. I didn't think you were here when I said that about 5-10 minutes ago. But yeah, this Friday coming, I'm actually handing my notice in. So after that, I will have about 4 weeks work, 1 month, and then I'll be a free man to roam the streets at night. I won't be doing that. I'll be in bed. But yeah, I will not have to do any more Saturdays. I actually have to hand in my notice 1 more Saturday to do, and then I'll be free. So we've got a fun fact from WB who says, fun fact, Fountains Abbey was Britain's wealthiest abbey, but its last abbot, Abbot Thirsk, was lied out by Marmaduke Bradley. He lost in court and had to face possibly the worst punishment ever. What was the punishment? I can't see the punishment, WB, so I'm curious to know what the consequences were. Driver. So thank you to Eddie who kind of moderated that. Nevada driver who's here before says, "Why are you so angry today? All tense." I'm not angry. I don't. Hopefully, I didn't give that impression. I'm not angry. So yeah. Well, thank you to the mods for keeping a close eye on the chat for me. Vinay says, "Did you hurt when you fell from heaven?" Vinay with a one-liner, smooth talker. And hello to you, Sage. How are you doing? Nice to see you in the chat. So another fact, a nuclear fact, it seems like, or a general science fact we've got from Eddie, who says a hydrogen bomb or thermonuclear weapon is an advanced nuclear explosive that derives its devastating destructive power from a combination of nuclear fission and nuclear fusion. Sounds like a deadly weapon indeed. Very deadly. Don't be messing with the fission or the fusion. Hell no. Banana Banger's talking about his online friend who's been wanting to meet up, says, thanks for the advice, Edward. I don't think I'm a go. Be careful, as I say, for anyone watching the stream. If anyone asks to meet up with you from the internet, be very careful. And like I said before, my advice for anyone who's under 18 would be to not to do it. And if you are an adult still, be very careful. Kaylin is back in the chat. And, ooh. So the punishment, hung and quartered. Yeah, that is one of the worst punishments that we had. Very medieval, that one, WB. And continuing the deadly weapons talk, Mr. Fox says AI equals a deadly weapon. Well, it's definitely got the power to be very destructive, hasn't it, Foxy? And to disrupt and destruct. Disrupt and destroy? Disrupt and destroy, a better way to describe it. Yeah. Hopefully AI won't become our overlord bosses in the future, but we should. Foxy says AI equals alien / You know what, Foxy? Recently I've been on Reddit and I've been looking at the aliens subreddit. It just came up when I was scrolling Reddit. Nothing too crazy. I kind of want to find like a good photo that nobody's really like figured out what it is, or seems like there's most things people have kind of worked out whether they're a fake or, you know, AI or whatever. But I do find that stuff kind of interesting. The Huntsman is in the chat with a new username. Or maybe it's the same as last time, but still a variation of Huntsman, variation of Tenor. Anyway, Huntsman is back and says 21-week watch streak. That's epic, Huntsman. 21 weeks watching. Crazy. Need a special badge or to award to you, Huntsman. Eddie says, I'm concerned as a few of my friends, that someone in my school, I think a few of my friends said that someone in my school is dating a 36-year-old mom on Snapchat, but low-key it must be false, right? Well, because that would be illegal. That would be kind of grooming if there is a real 36-year-old mother out there who's talking to one of your friends. That would be grooming. Hopefully that's not happening. Finay says, what's the worst thing to do at a funeral? Happy birthday. Yeah, that is definitely not the best move. Huntsman's chilling and drinking an energy drink. And Sage has got to go. Just came to say hi. Well, thank you for saying hi, Sage. Always nice to see you in the chat. Oh, okay, and it wasn't a typo. So, okay, so it's still a 36-year-old. Well, yeah, even so, Eddie. Hopefully, that 36-year-old is. Hopefully, that's not a real thing, because that would definitely be grooming. If one of your friends who's like presumably under 18, was in a relationship with a 36-year-old, that would definitely be not cool. To say the least, like that would be illegal and wrong. So yeah, hopefully that's not happening. Banana Bang says, I love all my friends in the city. They call me Chat because I use it a lot. That's funny. Your nickname is Chat. I like that. Okay, and we've got yeah, thanks for this one, Foxy. You say, listen or read to Richard Dolan. He's a good UFO guy. But check out the McMinnville UFO photos. Let me write that down. Thank you, Foxy. Richard Dolan. McMinnville UFO. Thanks, Foxy. I'll look those one up. Nice one. Yeah, see, with UFOs right now, it's hard to tell because, like, a lot of the time, of drones and stuff like that, and military technology which we don't know about. So sometimes hard to know what's just like, as I say, advanced military technology and what's potentially otherworldly. But I do statistically think that it's very plausible that some form of life has visited this planet. I really do. Vinay says, I also have a book recommendation, Animal Farm by George Orwell. Fantastic recommendation, Vinay. And another great book by George Orwell. Okay, and then he talking about the drama, says, low-key, the person who they're saying they're dating, that guy, I wouldn't be surprised if they've asked everyone in my year out and everyone rejected her. Well, hopefully she's not being groomed. That's the takeaway message. Keep us posted, Eddie. But yeah, if you do have any real concerns or anything, then talk to a teacher or something, or talk to an adult about that. Is what I'm saying. If you genuinely think that someone's getting taken advantage of, then yeah, do say something. Oh, and interesting. So the McMinnville UFO photos were taken in an era before computer software. Yeah, that's the thing, right? The older ones are often quite believable because they count in terms of like the photo composition. But say there wasn't like AI or wasn't like some of the software that's around now. Interesting. Could be a rumor. Yeah, let us know. Keep us posted. It could be a rumor. Could just be a rumor, or it could be someone in a difficult position. You just don't know. Sterney is back. The Sternster. Yeah, I'm curious to see what these look like. See, I've written it down. McMinnville UFO photos. I've never seen out like it, even though I've looked. Interesting. Yeah, I'll be checking that out. Actually, I'll probably watch a video on that after we end this stream. Sterney says, "How are you doing, Edward?" I'm okay, thank you, Sterney. I'm all right. I was telling the chat before, I need to get more sleep. Like last night, I had a good night's sleep, caught up with some sleep, but generally speaking, I don't get enough sleep, and I definitely think it causes me not mega problems, but I think I'm not doing right by myself, not getting enough sleep. So yeah, I need to get more sleep. That's a take-home message, and you were doing well, Sterney, as well. Interesting. Yeah, Foxy, I feel like America, they have like some of the best, but like some of the most notable, like examples of like serial killers and UFOs and just instance. Like I feel like America, I don't want to say good for that because it makes it sound like I'm being like, oh yeah, nice, good serial killing. But I feel like America has a lot of that type of story, if that makes sense. I'm just going to skip the adverts on this music. Oh, yeah. Oh, righty. Ow. Right, I'm back. I'm back in the room, back in the game. Sterney's sleep schedule is messed up as well. Yeah, honestly, guys, one of those things like super important. And I didn't Obviously, we know that sleep is important. We're like, oh yeah, I need enough sleep. But I think what I'm realising at the moment, particularly, is because, like I say, I'm working out a lot, and I want to put on a bit of muscle. And where I'm going wrong, I think, is not getting the sleep. Like, I'm getting my calories in, I'm getting the protein in, I'm doing some decent training. Um, trying to lift a bit more or do more repetitions each time, or just keep progress overload, just try and keep stepping up a little bit each time. But the reason I think where I'm going slightly wrong is by not getting enough sleep, and it's so crucial, like, for recovery. That's what it comes down. Like, if you want to rebuild and repair what you've potentially kind of, the muscle you've torn down during a workout, for example, then sleep is the time that we rebuild. And just generally speaking, even if you're not working out, sleep is the time when our bodies recuperate. So yeah. Foxy says, Sowers, I'm old, and apparently when you're older you need less sleep. Interesting. I mean, you're not that old though, Foxy. You're not like 19, but at the same time, you're not like you're not like 70. But 7 hours is a good amount. They do say, I've heard different things, but I've heard like 7 to like 9 hours. 9 hours is the upper end I've heard, but I've heard like, yeah, 7 and a bit hours to 8.5 hours. That seems to be, from what I hear, like kind of a sweet spot. Sterney said, like, I go to bed at 4 a.m. and I wake up to like 2 p.m. Yeah, honestly, Sterney, that's not the way to go. I used to do that, honestly, for real, when I was like in my late teens, even my early 20s. I used to do exactly that. Go to bed very late at night and wake up in the afternoon. And I couldn't do it. Some people would go to bed. Some people I would know would go to bed at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning, but then they're up at 9 the next morning. Well, if I go to bed at 3, 4, 5 in the morning, my body wants like at least 6, 7, 8 hours sleep. So if I go to bed at 6 in the morning, I'm not getting up at 9. If I go to bed at 6 in the morning, I'm getting up at like 1. So yeah. So if you can get into that earlier habit, I mean, when you're like a young person in particular, it's super easy to go to bed late and get up late. It feels best to go to bed early and get up early. That's what I've learned. I'm not saying I do that now, but that is the truth. Fox says, mate, when I was 19, I'd sleep for days sometimes. Yeah, honestly, when I was younger, again, that 19 sort of age, my body would just need it. I'd just be like, feel exhausted, even though I was like young and healthy. Yeah, my body would just be like demanding loads of sleep. Donald Trump has maybe found the wrong stream. He says, hi, my MAGA boy. Well, no MAGA around here, Mr. Trump. It's a politics-free stream. The only thing with two things we don't discuss in the chat are politics and religion. So yeah, we've given Mr. Trump a warning, so hopefully he'll bear that in mind. No politics, no religion, but apart from that, pretty much everything goes. Banana Bag says, Edward, I have to leave because I got a package, but I'm hooked on stream. I leave help. Don't worry, Banana Bangs. We'll be back with another stream on Tuesday. So you go and do your packing or whatever you need to do. Take it easy, and we'll see you on Tuesday. Sorry not. There'll be another stream another day. Amir is in the chat. What's up to you, Amir? Nice to see you this evening. How are you doing? Oh, delicious. As always, guys, remember to stay hydrated. And Amir says, how are you? I'm okay, thank you, Amir. It is currently 7 minutes to 9 here in England. And I've had quite a nice weekend. It's been quite chilling, quite low-key. But yeah, we're quite nice, honestly. Not too hectic, which has been good. Sterney's got a semi-finals tomorrow. Good luck with that. Sterney and Fox says, delicious council pop. Nice. Yeah, for Foxy. And actually where I live as well, maybe it's the same way you live. I don't need to filter the water. It's just like the water comes from, like a great source around here. Whereas if you live in a city, then I would recommend filtering your water with a water jug, or if you can afford to have one, a reverse osmosis tap. I would love one of those one day. It's like a filter installed directly like onto or into the tap. And so when you run the tap, it's like this water that's already been filtered by reverse osmosis, which is pretty cool. Amir says this stream's chill. You're pretty chill, Amir, so shout out to you. Foxy says, always filter your water, Edward. It's full of rubbish. Yeah, I mean, you're right, Foxy. I should do. And like I say, when I get my own place down the line, I will, like a house, I'm going to be there for a long time. I'm definitely going to put like one of those reverse osmosis filters. Get one of them installed in the taps, because I used to have, when I lived in Manchester, I had one of the water jugs. Fill it all the time. Honestly, I got so. I mean, I do it. I still did it, but I was so sick of filling it up because of like you go to the tap, you flip the top open, you run the thing, you flip the thing down, you go on the side, you let it filter for like 3, 4, 5 minutes, just to get like a litre or two of water. So it was annoying, honestly. So I want to get one of the things installed on the tap where you can just run the tap and it's like filtered. And you say I could list the chemicals, but it would just bore you. No, honestly, I believe you. I think there are a lot of toxins and nasty stuff out there that we don't want to be consuming. So you are right. It's a good point. And yeah, you are right. I can't argue with it. And Amir, I can't argue with you as well. You say microplastics suck. Yes, they do. They really do. They really do. And it's annoying that so much of our food, well, certainly in the UK, so much of our food is wrapped in plastic. It's annoying, honestly. Yeah, I'd love to grow much more of my own much more of my own food in the future. Grow my own vegetables, grow my own fruit, or at least a lot of that stuff. And yeah, good quality source. And goodbye to you, DT. Oh, see you later. Banana Bang says, Edward, I'm going to go get my package and come back if that's okay with you. Yeah, no worries, Banana Bangers. Take care. Do too. Oh, yeah, Foxy, don't get me anxious. Wood implements. Oh, actually, I thought you were saying wood implements were bad. Yeah, wood implements are good. But seed oils... I think the only seed oil I have, actually, is sesame seed oil. And it's okay, like, cold over food. Generally speaking, the only oil I have is, like, extra virgin olive oil. At the moment, I've run out, and I have some sesame oil that I bought. And my diet is pretty clean, generally. So a bit of cold sesame oil poured over the food. I'm okay with that. But generally speaking, I would only advocate for extra virgin olive oil. And Mohammed is in the chat, mate, from Leicester. Hello to you, Mohammed. Nice to see you in the chat. And you're the second person of the evening who's from Leicester or has given us a shout out from Leicester. So big up to all the Leicester crew in the house. Photon Fade, he says, what are your thoughts about India and Indians? India, fascinating country, massive country, obviously the country with the most people in the world. And just huge, just absolutely huge, and very interesting. I've said before many times on the stream, I would love to go to India one day and stream from there and eat some of the amazing looking food. Like I said, India is a super interesting place. It's just like crazy, honestly. I think one I think of when I think about India is the street food, because all the time we get these videos of street food where the street food vendors, are really, really kind of clever and really sort of enterprising in making food from simple ingredients. And like Indian cuisine in general is so like rich and complex, and it's just a very brilliant cuisine. But the thing about Indian street food videos is that you see these guys making these amazing food combinations, but the hygiene is so bad, so bad. And yeah, of course you get some places where like they do have good hygiene, but in general different countries have different relationships with like food and food hygiene and stuff like that. So I sometimes watch these like Indian street food vendors and I think, wow, like you have talent, you're clearly so knowledgeable around like layering flavors and stuff like that. But I just wish you were wearing gloves and you weren't touching the money and then touching the food. So yeah, in answer to your question, yeah, fascinating place. Would love to visit it one day. There's obviously a cultural connection between my country and India. So yeah, for various reasons, India is a place that does interest me a lot. Ayush Singh says, "Bro, England will World Cup. You heard it here first." Well, Ayush, I love the enthusiasm and the confidence, and if that happens, I will be giving you a triple shout out. Hope it will happen. And Fox says, "I think we have a chance. We played better against the pace teams." Now, I don't know if that was in relation to our next match or just in general. Yeah, in terms of the next match, I think we've got a decent chance into the next match, but beyond that, we shall see. We shall see. Intersectionally yours says, if you think that being vegan is difficult, imagine being a factory farmed animal. Please be vegan. Well, I am vegan, so personally, I don't know if that's for me or anybody else. But yeah, I mean, I obviously, of course, would advocate for anybody to be vegan. Let me scroll down to the chat a little bit. So Alice, this chat is actually for Teen Plus, because I do say to YouTube when I start the streams that it's not for children. You say I'm 15 and I have a question for you. Could you please tell me a reason to stay alive? I'm struggling. It's also okay if you don't care. Well, Alice, what I would say is if you feel that way, then I would definitely recommend talking to an adult life, someone you trust, ideally a parent, a guardian, or maybe a teacher. But if you're feeling like you've no reason to live, then you don't need my help. You need a mental health professional help, or at least your parents or your guardian's input. So Alice, please talk to somebody in real life. And if needs be, ring up one of the free helpline numbers, such as Samaritans. There's other ones that you can Google as well. So if you are feeling that way, please talk to an adult in your life who can give you the support that you need. And a huge shout out to the Brookster of Brooktown, USA, who says, "Hey friends, I can't stay long, but wanted to say hello. How on? Sending you massive hugs, Brooke. I'm doing all right, and I hope everyone else is as well." That's another one. Thank you. Intersectionally yours says thoughts on euthanasia. I support euthanasia under the right circumstances. I think everybody has the right to decide. I think everybody has the intrinsic right to decide, like, when their life ends, if that makes sense. I think there needs to be strict controls around it. Obviously, it needs to be regulated. But yeah, I don't think the government can tell you that you don't have the right to live your life or end your life. But of course, for anyone watching the stream, I'm not advocating for anybody to do anything drastic. Life is worth living. We get one life. And if you do feel that life is not worth living, then it's really important that you talk to somebody in real life, somebody you can trust, a family member, a friend, like I say, somebody who is close enough that you can be honest with them. And if you don't have any in your life who you feel like you can open up to, then please do reach out for one of the support numbers. There are numbers like the Samaritans in my country. There's probably similar numbers for you as well. So if you feel like life is so tough that you don't want to go on, please talk to somebody. And Sterny, yeah, don't worry about Sterny. We can Sterny. It's I would, if you want to know what that means, you've got to use it. So I'm not really going to be the person to tell you what that means. It's not like it's not a rude thing, but it's it's maybe a conversation to have with your parents, or as I say, or the teacher or someone. All right, gang, and just like that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to wrap today's stream up because it's just gone after 9 o'clock and I need to get some stuff ready for tomorrow. So, with that being said, I hope you are all well. Amir, my day has been good. Thank you for asking. We're actually going to end the stream now, unfortunately. But I hope you've had a day, Amir, and we will be back on Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time. Fox says you can't go, and I've got to go, Mr. Fox. I've got to go! But yeah, unfortunately, Fox, I've got to love you and leave you. I'll be back on Tuesday, though. Worry not, 8 p.m. And like I said, soon, when I'm no longer a slave to the man, I will have a bit more time for myself. Phoning sick. Oh, Mr. Fox, soon every day will be a sick day. But yeah, I've never missed a day there, so maybe I should have used up some sick days before. But thank you, Eddie, for the reminder. Join us at Tuesday, 8 p.m. British time. And see you soon, Mir. Thank you for the vibes. Thank you for joining. And big up to everyone who's been in the chat tonight. I'm going to shout out. Sterny says, you should pull a sickie, though. You're right, I should. They won't know. You're right, they wouldn't. But I feel I want to end, not on a high, but with an unblemished record. But you're right, soon to think about something. I need more time with you guys. But with that being said, huge shout out to Sterny, to Foxy, to Amir, to Eddie, to WB, to Intersectionally Yours, to Brooke, the Brookster from Brooktown, USA, and everybody else who I've missed. Foxy little. I know, Foxy, I should do, man. I should do. But I also need to go get some more food as well. Try and make some more gains. But look after yourself, guys. I will see you on Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for being part of the crew. Appreciate you all and hope you have a good rest of your night. I will see you on Tuesday. So big love for now. Take care of yourselves and enjoy your food, Mr. Fox. And Banana Bangs, we're just ending the stream. Unfortunately, join just as we're leaving. But we will see you on Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time. So look after yourselves. Take care for now, everyone. And I'll see you then. Love. See you on Tuesday, 8 p.m. UK time. And that's it for now. Bye.